Hi, my name is Kwani, and welcome to my new series where I go around to the businesses of Haverhill, Massachusetts, and show you guys what we have to offer. So today I'm here with Creatorpult Games, and this is a LGBTQ plus friendly business and veteran-owned business where they are a safe third space where you could come and game. They host tons of events for Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering games, and you can rent tables for $5 a day. So I also saw that they had 3D printing stuff, so we're going to learn more about that, and we're going to talk with the owner Chris today. So come on, let's go check it out. As soon as you walk in, on your left, there's a wall of community resources, and then here's the main tables you can rent, mostly for Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. Here we have a little mimic from Dungeons and Dragons, I think. Here's a part of the 3D printed section. Oh my gosh, all the colors they have. Insane. The 3D printers were pretty fancy. It was really cool to see them at work and stuff. They make a lot of cool things here. I was very impressed. My son actually bought one of their dragons they made. It's really cool. Just peek in there a little. Just really decorated, cool. I really like how they have everything set up. And I really liked this table. I thought this was sick. I'm assuming this is for D&D. Next we have part of the retail section. There's, oh my gosh, so much stuff you can get. So many different types of playing cards, some plushies. There's dye, deck boxes, some lots of custom made stuff. And then here they have a paint section, and actually every Thursday they have a paint night, and every other Thursday they have somebody come in and host the paint night. Here's some D&D books, some more 3D printed goodies, some more paints we got over here. Yeah, just so many colors. It's so cool. And then next we have a little snack section. So when you do the $5 to rent a table, it kind of is a credit towards those snacks. That's a little side room. And here's the back room with all of the board games they have available. Like so many I've never ever heard of. It's just crazy. It's just so fun. I love board games, so I'll definitely be back to play some. And here are some more tables in the back room where people play board games. I actually came back a couple nights later. Here's everybody playing, and there was a big Magic the Gathering release event, so I recorded some of that. Here's everybody just kind of hanging out before the event started. It started to get pretty packed in here. It was actually their biggest event since opening, so it was cool to be here. Then the event started, so they started calling up each player one by one to pick a box of random cards that they'll go through and build their decks with to use for the event. It's kind of tournament style. I actually personally used to play Magic the Gathering, but I hadn't played in very many years, so I was invited to participate, but I felt like I couldn't really this time because I would have needed to definitely be babysat and guided through. So I didn't want to put that on anybody. They had this cool countdown clock. They got 30 minutes to build their decks. And you see everybody working hard at it. So here we go. Everybody's building.
0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started. real good.
Why they stopping me?
And then finally, I was going to say the magic happened, but I had no pun intended. Everybody got to play in. They use this program where it kind of pairs people up in a random order, so I thought that was really cool. I didn't get to stay until the end of the event, so I didn't see who won, but everybody was so into it and having such a great time. So thank you so much to Creatorpult again for letting me join in and hang out. It was so fun getting to see everybody and meet everybody. Yeah, it was cool. Thank you. All right, today I'm here with Chris at Creatorpult Games. And I don't know, have you watched any of the other videos so far?
No. Sorry.
No, it's totally
you can cut
okay.
That out.
No, I just like to do a little.
Yeah, I've seen them all.
Liar. I just wanted to do a fun little icebreaker with you, if you're up for it. Just like a couple games.
Okay.
Are you competitive?
Not super.
No.
Is that like everything? I'm more of a cooperative game player.
Oh, I'm pretty competitive. I'm actually like a little bit of a balance. Well, okay, we'll skip that part then if you want to.
No, we can do it. I mean, if you want me to be competitive, I'll kick your butt.
Oh.
I'm not competitive, says the guy who brings like a list of
it's like says the person who owns a whole game store. What do you mean you're not like competitive? All right, well you have to beat me 2 out of 3 games then.
All right,
what's the
premise? Yeah, let's go.
It's rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Proceeding. Ready?
Do you go on shoot?
Okay, we'll go on shoot.
You go on shoot because you get mixed up.
He always has to run things.
Clearly, I can tell already. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh. You know what? I'm gonna maybe have to stop this segment because I lost on the last one and this is hurting my ego.
No.
Okay.
You're the one that started this.
No, I know. All right.
You wanted me to be competitive.
You wanna do a thumb war?
Sure.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare thumb war. 1, 2, 3.
You got me.
Yes. All right, and the next one is a staring contest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this is for all the marbles.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, I thought it was 2 out of 3.
Right, so.
Oh,
you
I
won
see
one,
what you're saying.
I won
I see
one.
what you're
Yeah,
saying.
we
Tied.
have 3 games, yeah.
Yeah, we're tied now.
All right. I'll count to 3 and then we'll go. All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. That was cheating.
What? I think that was a win right there.
Yeah, it was. You won. You just caught me off guard. Oh.
Okay,
right.
I guess I can be competitive if that's
Oh, see, you just gotta get in the mode.
I see.
Oh. All right, well, that's 2 losses for me out of my whole series out of 3. So
do you want to do another
it's not
one that
looking
you can
good.
cut in and
Yeah.
I'll just let you win?
No, that's something I hate, and nobody. If I start coming here, nobody better let me win at anything.
What do you mean if?
Okay, when I start coming here, nobody better let me win at anything. Okay. That makes me
we'll
mad. I want to win fair and square. All right, yeah. Don't let Corny win. So.
You'd be like, I never win. I don't understand.
No, yeah, then people are gonna start cheating and making sure I don't win.
Conspiring against you.
All right, we'll make.
Now on another sign, no conspiring against her either.
Oh my god, that's funny. So yeah, I just had like a few basic questions for you today, just get to know about you and your business. Ben is your social media manager.
He's the event coordinator here.
Event coordinator, yeah. He mentioned to me that you're a veteran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so how long did you serve for?
I was in the Navy for about 6 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been out of it?
Oh, jeez. gonna get me. I was gonna know how old I am.
Okay. Gosh.
I've been out since '91.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I don't even want to tell you what year I was born.
I'm 56.
Oh my god, you look amazing.
Thank you.
That was like mind blowing to me. Oh my gosh. So, how long have you been like interested in like these games or like role playing games or Magic and D&D?
Well, we started as a makerspace here almost 8 years ago. Actually, over on Essex Street, a couple blocks away, and we before I started Creatorpult, I had started Haverhill Tabletop Gamers, which was a meetup group in the Haverhill area. And we had about 20, 25 members that would regularly attend events at various locations around town. So when I opened the makerspace, I just moved the events there. And so we've always had a gaming group at Creatorpult ever since we opened. And as time has gone by, we don't do we're not a makerspace anymore. We found all 8 people in Haverhill that wanted to be, and that just never really worked out, So we switched over to making our own stuff, and so we wanted to make, design gaming accessories and things like that. So that's where we got the dice towers, and we had a Kickstarter. It went pretty well. But all along the way, we had this game group that would just come every Friday and play games. And then during COVID, we moved it online, and so we started a Discord, and we now have about 350 people in our Discord.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a little. I would say it's been really gradual, and so it's been something that's been sustainable because we've every time the population would grow, we'd have to learn new things like moderation and having the rules and all this other stuff. But it wasn't ever we went from 1 person to 5,000 people. We just became an actual Discord community a few months ago. So it's now we're published on the Discord catalog and everything.
Yeah, you're lucky. So. I did make an account for Discord, so luckily I got one already set up. I've never I went on, signed up, and then just logged off and never used it. But now I got it set up to go check yours out.
Well, great. But yeah, to answer your question, we've always been gamers here. We've always been interested in games. I have been collecting these board games over here since the day we opened. A lot of them are from my house. I brought them here when I opened the place. And
what about prior to the business? Did you have was that a big part of your life, just gaming? Or?
For a long time it wasn't, but I'd always been big in BattleTech, so I would go and play with local groups and stuff like that. Not when I lived here, because there weren't any local groups. We had to start them.
Yeah.
But I used to live down in Belmont, and there were areas, there were groups down there in Cambridge and stuff like that played, and still do. Pandemonium's a big place down there. We used to go play at that place.
Belmont is so pretty. I used to work at McLean there.
Oh, okay, nice.
Oh my gosh, the grounds there.
Yes. So yeah, we have always had gaming in mind here, and when we moved from Essex Street to here, Essex Street was only about the size of the store, and so when we moved here, we literally almost tripled our space, but we had to have retail on the street front, and we didn't have any experience doing retail. So I had heard that another game store was going out of business, and I approached the owner, who was actually selling our products at the time, Russ. He owned Queen's Gambit. They were in Methuen, and they were looking at closing down. And I asked if he wanted to move here, maybe condense things down a little bit instead of close, and he decided to give it a shot. He gave it a year. It didn't really work out for him, but first I learned a whole bunch from him on how to run retail, how to do all the stuff that we now do every day. And so when he decided he was going to close up shop, I was like, okay, we can either go and find another tenant, or we can try and make a go of it ourselves. And I've always been a ready, fire, aim kind of guy. And so I decided, fine, we're going to open a game store. And then we figured out how to do it. So now we're in the middle of figuring out how to do it, and things are going pretty well. You know, we've the majority of the growth on our Discord has been since January. We went from 104 people, I think.
Since just this
Since January, yeah. We opened in January as Creatorpult Games, the retail store. And since January, our Discord has grown from about 104 people to 347 or something like that. And, you know, every time a customer comes in or a potential customer comes in, we tell them about, we do a lot of promotion. We have flyers for every event that we do. We try to run events every weekend if we can. We try to make sure that people know about the months in advance so that they have the time to schedule them and make sure that they fit into their schedule. And we have a very open policy. You know, we tell everyone, look, if you want to come play games here, we don't care when you play. As long as we're open, you come in, it's $5 to play, and that $5 is store credit that day. If you want to get snacks, or if you just buy a pack of cards or something like that, you're good, you know? So that way people don't feel like it's this onerous, it's a fee. You know, it's just more, look, we need to stay open. We need to be supported by the people that come here and play. So all we ask is $5, you know? And then you get something for that $5. It isn't even like you end up paying it. It's more just you're giving us $5 so you can have some snacks or sodas or coffee or whatever. And then our events are very reasonably priced. We try to keep it so that people who come here on a regular basis aren't feeling like they're just, you know, filling our wallets. It's more just we want them to feel invited and welcome here, you know? Yeah. So we have a lot of customers that come back on a regular basis. It's, you know, it's been very fulfilling, you know? You know, you get to know a lot of the local people and you know all your customers by name. It's really fun. It's great. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm very happy with how things have turned out.
Yeah, like I was saying to you earlier, I like third spaces are so needed, and there's not enough of them, and we really need to just get back to community.
Yeah, and COVID really hurt the third space concept because everybody was stuck at home, and they just got out of the habit of going out and doing things. So we focus all of our effort really on just providing that space, providing that opportunity for people who may have gotten out of the habit of going and doing stuff outside or out of the home, a place to do that and an incentive to do it as well, you know? So I don't know, I hope that answers the question you asked 10 minutes ago.
No, you're doing perfect. Like this is everything I want.
Okay.
So I guess, you already answered my next question, like when you decided to open the business, and I guess you didn't answer like why did you decide to open?
Well, I did it because Queen's Gambit was closing, and I felt like it was time. You know, I won't say that it was this plan. I haven't been planning. You know, like I said, I'm a ready, fire, aim kind of guy. I like to be in charge also. I don't want, like one of the things I found while we had a retail store up front that wasn't run by us was there were things that they did I would have done differently. And I wasn't saying they were doing it wrong. They were saying they were just doing it differently than I would do it. And so now if I want to do it differently, then I can do it differently. I can do it the way I want to do it. I can have my 3D printers in the front. I can have, you know, posters on the walls. I can, all things that they were doing or wanted to do or whatever, but just we never did it, you know? And, you know, the main thing though is that I don't know, deep down in my heart, I think I've always been somebody who felt like I could run a game store. And I guess I was just like, okay, well, if I'm ever gonna do it, I should put my money where my mouth is and just do it, you know?
Yeah, you saw the opportunity and you went for it.
Yes, it was an opportunity. And for the most part, it was one of these things where it's worked out far better than I thought I could expect it to. It's not super profitable yet. It's doing all right. We ran into a couple of early issues with competition in the area, not really figuring out how to fit in, you know, because there's some other stores around here, you know, we're trying not to step on toes, but at the same time we want to stake our own claim.
Right.
So, you know, it's really just a matter of getting our own local people who would rather play here than play somewhere else, or play both places. We don't care.
Right.
You know, just do whatever you want. You know, if you like what we have to offer, come in here and take advantage of it. You know, if you don't, we won't see you, but you're still welcome. So,
what would you say that your hopes and your dreams are, like, ultimately for this business? Or do you feel like you've achieved them?
Oh no, I definitely haven't achieved them. I'm just trying to decide what a hope or a dream is. No, I
like your ultimate goal, I guess.
I'm an ADD guy. My goal is to make it to the next minute and still be happy with where things are. You know, so far it's going pretty well. You know, but no, seriously, like I don't have a 5-year plan. I never have. You know, if I'm lucky, I've got a 1-year plan. Okay, it's more of a hey, let's see what happens now. Is really how I sort of live my life right now. You know, if we try this, let's see what happens. You know, it could be worse. So yeah.
I think he just doesn't want to be here 7 days a week. That's the goal currently.
I mean, that's really like all business owners, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be working all the time.
I don't know what I would do if I didn't have to work. You know, like if I've never had a goal of being a millionaire. I've never had a goal of being filthy rich. I would love to not have to worry about money.
Right.
Not worrying about money would be wonderful. I think that would be the first and only goal I would have. Once I get there, that opens up the opportunities, and maybe I can reevaluate at that point, you know.
Right.
But right now, it would just be like, you know, hey, I'd love to make this place self-sufficient, give a few people some jobs, and local people some jobs, and have a place where people enjoy what they do, you know, not feel like, oh, they're just punching a clock, or you know, they get no say, or they aren't making a difference. You know, everybody who works here helps, and they all have the things they're good at, and all the things they're not good at, and we focus on giving the people who are here the things that they are good at to do, you know, and then we fill gaps where we can. So.
Oh, I love that. That's perfect too. If you could go back in time and change one thing or do something differently, would you, and what would it be and why?
Next question.
Okay. All right, what's the biggest...
We're not going into politics today.
Okay. That's fair. So fair. What's the biggest challenge you've faced so far?
I guess COVID, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Getting
very fair.
through COVID was a challenge for the company, I would say, and me personally. You know, I got it, but at a time I had the vaccines, and big fan of vaccines. Well, that's the most political I'll get today, and I didn't have very huge symptoms, but I know people that died, and I know people that were extremely negatively affected by it. And that really bothered me. I felt a lot of empathy and concern for those people.
Right.
And felt helpless. I couldn't help them in any way, you know?
Yeah, that's the worst feeling.
Yeah, it sucked. So, yeah, that would be the biggest challenge I would say faced.
What's your favorite part about being a business owner? Which I guess you kind of went over, like you really like being able to just...
I said earlier, I like being in charge. I like, and it's not just like for the sake of being in charge. It's that I get to try the things I want to try. I like being able to make the decisions and not have somebody arbitrarily coming and telling me this is what you have to do. You know, I mean, I get enough of that from the government. I don't need it, you know, like with taxes and all that stuff. But like I like having the decision making capability to say, you know what, we're gonna try engraving flasks, or we're gonna make 3D printed dragons or whatever. You know, we try it. If it works out, we keep doing it. If we don't, then, or if it doesn't work out, we stop doing it. But it isn't one of these things where like I don't tend to run my business by like an Excel spreadsheet. You know, yeah. I sort of like seat of my pants, kind of figure out, okay, is this working or is it not working? And the nice thing about that is it helps me to learn in a sort of an empirical way what it means for something to work and to not work, rather than just staring at a bunch of numbers and having to be an accountant, which I'm not, you know. And I also don't want to make decisions based on just money. I want to make gaming stuff, and if, for example, if we were in an economy where gaming stuff didn't sell well, then, you know, I probably would still do it, you know, because it's what I want to do. You know, I mean, maybe I just wouldn't make as much money. Maybe I wouldn't be able to be successful for a little bit longer. I don't know. But it's my decision. And that's the thing that really makes me happy, is the fact that I can make those decisions. And not to mention the fact that I can bring other people along with me who are interested and like those kind of same things. Give them something to do that makes them feel like they're part of it, you know? So.
I love that. So we sound very like-minded, because I'm definitely more like passion driven, and like, you know, like I rather do something that I love to do and that I'm interested in. Like money, like I don't care. I mean, like as long as my bills are paid and like whatever.
Money does have this thing about making the world go around, but
unfortunately,
we live in the world we live in. You have to do what you have to do. But once I've done that, I like the fact that I can do whatever I want. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what inspires you and what keeps you motivated?
I think I just described it.
Okay.
I really do. I think, you know, the two are the same answer.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Not having a boss really motivates me. You know?
I feel that. Yeah,
I'm a lot harder on myself than my boss ever was. You know, I push myself a lot harder than I had an experience a long time ago I won't go into, but it made me realize that I never wanted to put in 12-hour, 14-hour, 16-hour days for anyone but myself.
Yes.
It's not worth it. There is no boss out there. There's no company out there that is worth those hours. Right. Okay? I have no intention of putting in that kind of work to make some other person rich.
Yeah.
You know, not put too fine a point on it. Okay.
No, I fully agree.
Yeah.
I'm so
I don't need to help some other guy buy his third yacht. Don't have any interest in it, you know.
What would you say your favorite memory is, like with the business? Is there an event that was your favorite, or?
I would have to say our first big magic event was a great memory for the business. Because we, at the time, were thinking that we weren't going to be able to make magic work. Mm-hmm. And our first event was, you know, there were only 12 people here, but that's 12 more than we thought we were going to get.
I was just going to say, that sounds like a good turnout to me.
Yeah, I mean, we also didn't know what to expect. We just, you know, the point is that we really hustled and talked to everybody and promoted and really pushed it, and the community stuck up for us. And the Kickstarter really went well too. We kickstarted the stock for the store. You know, we had 75 people that decided that we were worth having, you know, worth donating to get stock into the store, because we decided to do it when we didn't have the money to buy stock, you know.
And that's so heartwarming.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a really positive experience for us, you know. And we're still working on, we will get the names on the wall, I promise, and then in the table names, so they'll get done, okay? Just give us a minute, we're working on it. So, but yeah, we've had a lot of really positive feedback from the community about our decision to open the game store. And everybody who comes in here loves the space, they love the variety of things that we offer. The people are very friendly, and when if ever comes a time when there's someone who comes in who is not friendly, then we just say bye. You know, I have the right to tell them to just leave. There's
another
the door.
Beautiful thing about being a business owner.
Exactly. I don't have to worry that it's not corporate policy to kick people out because they're Karens.
Right.
You know, so.
I love that. So that kind of ties into my next question with, what is your favorite part about Haverhill or the community?
It's very artistic here. Yes. Haverhill has a great art scene, and they are very positive in favor of that scene. And that's something that I've noticed since I opened Creatorpult to start with. When we were just a makerspace, we had lots of help from the city council and people in the Chamber of Commerce and things like that were very supportive of us, and they, as soon as they found out that we were in an art-based business, they were even our landlord loved it, So, yeah, I like Haverhill because it is very focused, or at least very favorable in terms of art. I mean, there's a lot of community around Haverhill also that just tries to keep it clean. They walk around on weekends and pick up trash and stuff like that, and I like that, So, yeah, I mean, people, it matters to them that Haverhill is a pretty city.
Yeah, that's something I've kind of been like learning a little bit more and more, is just how many creatives are here. And I love that. As just a fully creative person myself.
Not billboards, murals all over the city, and they are, there's a large variety of them as well. Like, they're not all the same topic. There's a large variety of art in the area. There's different artists. There's schools. There's community centers. There's Make It Haverhill up on Washington Street that does free job. They started out as a makerspace, but now they do free job training to people on how to sew and all kinds of other things, So, like,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you should talk to, now I'm gonna forget his name.
Yeah, write it down for me after.
Yeah, I will, but yeah, you could talk to him about it as well, because, they've been around since almost as long as we have. So, yeah, I think they opened like 2 or 3 months after we did. So.
I think that's all like interview questions I have for you today. Actually though, I would just like you to touch a little bit on your like 3D printing services.
Well, basically, so Creatorpult has 2 different sides. We have a customer facing side, and then we have a business facing side. We have Creatorpult Design. And Creatorpult Design does things like 3D CAD design, prototyping, product development, and then we also manufacture small batch manufacturing for different purposes. So when a customer comes to us and says, "Oh, I've got this idea for this thing," we sit down with them and we go through, the various aspects of designing that thing. We try to think of things they may not have thought of. And a lot of times we'll actually do the design for them and make a prototype for them that they can then take and have patented and manufactured mass market. So that's the other side of what Creatorpult does. As well, as far as the customer side of 3D printing, basically when somebody comes in here and they've got like a mini for their D&D game, or they've got a game idea, or they've got like this, they may have found some widget online that they want printed, they'll just come to us and say, okay, how much is this going to cost? We tell them, and either they have us print it, or we don't. We have the ability to do single color printing as well as multicolor printing, and we have some of the best 3D printers that you can get for the money that we spend on them. So
they looked fancy.
Yeah, they're really good, and we have a lot of experience 3D printing. We've been 3D printing since day one, so almost 8 years of 3D printing.
Wow.
If something goes wrong in a 3D print, I can almost always guarantee I can tell you what happened, why it happened, and how not to let it happen again.
Right.
So.
Yeah, awesome. And I just have some fun, quick, rapid fire questions to end.
Shoot.
All right, ready? Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Hot or iced?
Hot.
Fall or winter?
Fall.
Spring or summer?
Spring.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Morning or night?
Night.
Dress down or dress up?
Dress down.
Go out or go in?
In but out.
So here.
Yeah.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Diet.
I agree. Sweet or sour?
Sour.
Books or movies?
Books.
Tent
and
camping?
movies.
Tent camping or RV camping?
Tent camping.
You're the only person who said that, and I
Really?
like, yeah. Everybody else said
I haven't been tent camping in a long time. The answer might change if I went.
Right. I know. Probably like the older you get, the more like convenient stuff you like. You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
All right. So if you just want to like plug in your socials and your website, like just tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find us at Creatorpult Games pretty much everywhere except Twitter. Sorry, I'm not gonna call it X. So yeah, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Creatorpult Games, creatorpultgames.com.
And what's your Discord server?
It is also Creatorpult
Games. Okay. And then you can find me at Kawani's World on YouTube and TikTok, and Kawani's World on Instagram, but there's just a period in between the two words. So thank you so much for meeting with me.
Very much for coming by.
I really loved checking this out, and I'm definitely gonna be back because, like I said, I'm a gamer. I'm a game person, and I like never have anybody to do this stuff with. So this is like such a good find for me.
Come by any Friday night, and we'll be having people in here playing board games. So
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
thank you.